Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is if you have a Galaxy S10 device and you're on T-Mobile or Sprint, the stable, the real, not the beta, version of One UI 2.0, also known as Android 10, is available right now. Now, I received, well, first of all, I did see a Reddit post saying so, that it was going out. It says Samsung One UI 2.0 with Android 10 out now in the USA for Sprint locked phones. Edit also T-Mobile phones as well. Then I checked my messages or my notifications on Twitter, and somebody sent me the screenshots for T-Mobile. And the update itself on Sprint is 2 gigabytes, 2.3 gigs for the One UI 2.0 upgrade with Android 10. And then the other one was from All Star TV showing the T-Mobile USA update. So thank you to Alicia and All Star for sending these screenshots. Now the update is being rolled out, so you might not see it right this second, but keep checking your software updates on your phone and you should see it any second or right now. Next story is about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Lite. If you didn't know, they're going to put out a Lite or a lesser spec'd out version than the regular Note 10 and Note 10 Plus that is out right now. And it's going to have a cool little feature because of the S Pen. And it looks like it's going to have location tracking Bluetooth 5.1 for the S Pen. Now that means two things. So first of all, the regular Note 10, Note 10 Plus has Bluetooth 5.0. So 5.1 is an upgraded, newer version of Bluetooth. And it's going to be able to detect how far away it seems the S Pen is from the phone itself. I don't know if you're going to be able to do measurements and things like that, or if it's just going to be for tracking where it is in terms of if you lost it or not. But it's an amazing, cool feature if you think about it, because if it's on that phone, it's also obviously going to be on the Note 11 if that phone comes out, or whatever phone they come out in the future that has an S Pen. And the last story of the day comes from Ice Universe. He says, this is the real Galaxy S11 camera. On the left is the ultra wide angle, then the main camera, and then the periscope lens. I don't know the exact distribution on the right. It is expected to include a flash and time of flight. And you can see there's been some photos going around that the camera's gonna be all over the place or whatever, but I mean, to me, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm gonna use it, and you barely look at the back as it is anyway, so who cares, right? Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is that the AirPods Pro and the AirPods 2 have had a new firmware update pushed out. And the firmware version on the AirPods Pro is going from 2B588, and on the AirPods 2, previously it was 2A364, and now AirPods Pro and AirPods 2 are gonna run the firmware version of 2Charlie54. And just to make sure that you have the update, all you do is just make sure your AirPods are connected to your iOS device, that would be the iPad or the iPhone. Open up the settings app, go to general, go to about, tap AirPods, and then look for the firmware version to be what I told you earlier, which would be 2C54. Now the update will just happen automatically when the AirPods are in their case and they're close by to your iOS device. And the last story of the day is all about the Galaxy S11 versus the S11 Plus side-by-side glass panels. Here we go, guys. This is what you've been waiting for, is these two phones to be side-by-side, or at least the glass panels to be side-by-side. These phones, in terms of size, screen size, should be 6.7 for the S11 and 6.9 for the S11 Plus, which is only 0.2 inches, but when you look at them side by side, that 0.2 inches looks significantly larger on the S11 Plus versus the S11. Now, it's not showing the cutout for the camera at the top. Don't think that this is all gonna be under the glass. It's just the glass panel itself is not showing it. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is the Galaxy Note 10 Lite has leaked out in terms of the renders for this phone, and you can tell it looks like a Samsung phone with the camera on the front there in the middle, and then the S Pen. The buttons are on the right hand side, which is a nice feature because they've been on the left with the Note 10, just the regular Note 10, Note 10 Plus. Also on the back, you're gonna get 3 cameras and a flash. Going back to the front, I should go there because the screen looks flat. So if you like flat screens, this looks to have that flat screen. And it's also gonna come in a few colors, red, or glow, and black. There's no exact release date for this yet. It's probably most likely 2020. So if you want to pick this up, I don't even know if it's going to hit your country or not because there's really not that much information, but as more information comes out about the Note 10 Lite, we'll let you know. And the last story of the day is Samsung has officially leaked out purposely their own 108 megapixel camera that should be in the Galaxy S11. Now I'll link the full video down below if you want to watch it, but basically, and they even have this on their newsroom website where it says 108 megapixel ISOCELL bright HMX, redefined details with over 100 million pixels. Samsung Bright HMX is a one-of-a-kind, ultra-high 108 megapixel mobile image sensor with advanced pixel technologies like ISOCELL Plus and Smart ISO to produce sharp images with high color fidelity. Photo can stay sharp even when zoomed in or cropped. And this is the first image sensor to adopt a large 1 1/3 33-inch size. And then just some normal things in here, such as the resolution 12,032 by 9,024. Video frame rate 148 frames per second at 1080p. It can shoot in RAW 10 and everything else you can see here as well. Man, what are they gonna leak next about this phone? It's obviously they wouldn't announce this and not put it in their biggest flagship phone to come out in 2020. What do you guys think? Just FYI, I'm a little bit under the weather. My son seems to give me a cold like every single month at this point. But anyways, let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. The Android One 2.0 update is out right now. It's being rolled out. This isn't the beta version. This is the real life, real world update. Now it has hit France, Poland, India, UAE, and more countries as well. So you might want to check your software updates to see if it's available for your phone. Mine, it's not. I'll just go double check for a millionth time and go in here and go into software update, download it, install, and I don't have it yet. So just keep checking. You'll end up getting it when it hits America and some other countries. I'll let you know. Next up, we know the rumors about the Galaxy S11 line of phones having 108 megapixel main camera. Well, what about the telephoto lens? This tweet comes from Ice Universe. Samsung will lead the high pixel telephoto lens and the telephoto cameras of the S11e, S11, S11 Plus, and they will not be less than 48 megapixels. Okay, so it doesn't mean exactly 48 megapixels, but most likely probably 48 megapixels. He writes in these weird, I don't know, mystery rhymes, if you want to call it that. And last time he said something very similar, and it looks like that was the 108 megapixel rumor, so this one will probably be 48 megapixels. So very, very high megapixels so far on the cameras for the S11 line of phones. And the last story of the day is a very, very juicy bit, and it's about the Galaxy Fold 2. So these are real life images from Wang Benghong off of the social media network Weibo, and it shows off the Galaxy Fold 2. Now let's look up some higher resolution photos. First of all, this is the phone all closed up, and you see at the bottom left, you see the clock. It's probably going to show notifications there when it's closed up, so not a very large screen on there to show information. Also at the bottom right, you have the flash and two cameras, dual cameras. Now, staying on this image, you can probably tell, I feel like anyway, they're doing things to make the cost of this phone really, really come down, especially with a small display and possibly only dual cameras on the outside. When he shows the bottom of the phone, you can see a speaker and you see a USB-C port, and that's pretty much it. Doesn't look like there's any headphone jack or anything like that. The next image actually shows it opened slightly, so it looks like you can keep it at an angle and use it. And the rumored display size of this is supposed to be between 6.7 and 6.9 inches, somewhere within that range. But you can also tell that this phone has huge bezels. Another indication, I feel like, that this phone is going to be inexpensive, or at least inexpensive in terms of what it cost when it first came out for the Galaxy Fold 1, which ended up being about $2,000. The next shot is straight on at a 90-degree angle, just showing off this phone. And I mean, it's interesting that it's a folding phone, but I mean, I think some people might be turned off because it doesn't look as modern as maybe the Galaxy Note 10 or the S10 with the smaller bezels and stuff like that. It even looks like the camera at the top in the middle is probably the same size as the one on the Galaxy Note 10. It's not going to be the smaller one that's supposed to be on the Galaxy S11 line of phones. And then our last image is it straight on, just unfolded, completely straight up, the lock screen, so you can see your notifications and stuff like that. Let's get into the news. The first story is about the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Now, you know what those look like. You probably even have them at this point. Well, it looks like XDA developers have broken down the new smart home app, and they saw and found information about the Galaxy Bud Plus. You can see directly from this headline, Galaxy Buds Plus renders confirm no design changes for Samsung's new wireless earbuds. So you see the two earbuds there along with the charging case, and they look identical to what we get currently with the Galaxy Buds, so no physical changes coming to these earbuds. I look at it two ways. Now, if they sound better, that's awesome. If they don't change, to me, it's not a big deal because of the fact they're very comfortable, and I don't know, the case is small enough, and everything's actually just perfect about the design, and that kind of lends its way over to, you know, they don't change so much the look of their phones every year. Sometimes they're, you know, fairly identical. Look at the S10 and the Note 10, and like some things are changed, but generally the phones don't change that much year to year sometimes. So these earbuds probably will probably do the same thing, not change that much from iteration to iteration. Not that big a deal if we're obviously in it for the sound ultimately, and I think, at least I don't even know a lot of people that don't like the design already with the Galaxy Buds, so I think this is a good thing. How do you guys feel? Let me know. And the last story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy S11 device, and one of the things you probably love about your Galaxy device are the small bezels at the top and at the bottom. Well, the Galaxy S11 will have the very same thing in terms of small bezels. Now, this is a look, you can see a tweet from Ice Universe saying the Galaxy S11 cover. This is the final version. The cover is not a protective film. It is a reference for the protective film. The cover is closer to the real phone design. S11's forehead and chin are very optimistic, and you can see the top of the phone, and it's tiny bezels all around this phone. I think people love that. They want more screen more than anything, and this is gonna have that. And then at the bottom, a very small bezel for this phone. It should be even slightly, possibly smaller than what we've gotten in the past. Currently, I'm in Connecticut right now with family, so that's why it looks a little bit different. It will look like this, or slightly different, obviously, more so than my regular news show over the next couple of days, well, 10 days or so. So let's get into the news. Only got one story today, and it's a very large story, which my Galaxy Note 10's over there, but it's about the Galaxy Note 10, Note 10 Plus. Here in the United States of America, AT&T and Verizon, that Android 10 One UI 2.0 update is going out for everybody that are on those carriers right now for Note 10 devices. This is huge news. This was stuff that we thought wasn't going to happen until January 2020. It's happening right now. As for Sprint and T-Mobile, I don't have any news, and the unlocked versions, again, I don't have any news for that as either, but this is great news for people that have the Galaxy Note 10, Note 10 Plus on AT&T and Verizon. I know a few of you reached out to me saying that you got the update, which is awesome. I know you guys are stoked to get it. Christmas edition, right? Get the Christmas tree in the back, the lighting, hopefully it looks really pretty. But anyways, let's get into the news. First story of the day is Nova Launcher, which is a free app, but then they have an add-on for like Nova Prime, which gives you all the additional features. It's usually $5. Right now it's 99 cents. They do this every single year. Get this app, even if you don't use Nova Launcher, just get it. It's totally worth it if you ever switch and use, you know, a customized launcher for your phone to make it look and feel different. This is the one to get. It's awesome. There's no ads or any crappiness in there. It's fast, a lot of customizations. It's linked down below. Very easy to find, so click on that. And the last story of the day, very short. It's the holidays, guys. These stories, there's not a lot of news going on because a lot of these companies are on holiday already because of the Christmas holiday and other Hanukkah and everything else. So anyways, last story of the day, Galaxy S10. Huge deal on Amazon. If you're looking to get this phone for yourself or for someone in your family, you can purchase it for up to $300 off right now. So you can get the S10 Plus 128 gigabyte storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM for $699. Really good deal for a really good phone. One of the best phones definitely I've personally used this year. My favorite phone, Note 10 Plus, which I'll also link down below if you want to get one. I think that's the absolute best overall phone. S10 Plus is right up there though, because kind of the same phone. Pixel 4 XL, awesome, also a really, really good phone. iPhone 11, I've used all of those phones, and I can without a doubt say that they're some of the best phones I've used ever, obviously, because phones get better every year. But anyways, awesome, awesome phones. Everything's linked down below. Thanks for watching. Your question of the day is, what's a Christmas gift you bought for somebody this week? Let me know in the comments down below, and maybe one you're kind of proud of. Let me know. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.